In today's episode, you'll learn how to make a delicious Kosher Baja brisket using Prairie Street Prime's Kosher USDA Prime second cut brisket and these fresh ingredients.
Don't mind me. Oh, just cut so perfectly. Absolutely to die for. Welcome to the Prairie Street Prime Culinary Kitchen. I am Chef Kendra and I'm so excited to be here with you today, sharing one of my favorite recipes from one of my favorite countries. Today we're gonna be making a Baja-esque braised brisket using Prairie Street Prime's second cut brisket. So, second cut brisket. What is a second cut brisket? Brisket is separated into the point and the flat. The flat is typically the leaner cut, which is what the first cut brisket is. So if I were making this maybe like 10, 15 years ago, I might want a little bit of a leaner cut. But I like some fat because I like some flavor. So I go with the second cut. You can see here that I have this really, really nice layer of fat on both sides. So let's start working with this. I like starting with a nice dry piece of meat. It's gonna help to let the spices, particularly the salt and the pepper, once I put them on, penetrate the meat a little bit better. And when I put it into the pan, it's gonna help give me this really nice caramelization on the meat. This is a big piece of meat. I've said that several times, and you can see that. I'm gonna take it, cut it into half. Because I'm gonna be putting it and braising it into a nice large pan, it's totally fine if it layers on top of itself. It's gonna be in the oven for like 3.5 hours, so nothing's gonna happen to it. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Salt. I like a nice layer of salt on there, so I wanna make sure that it's gonna penetrate all the way through, okay? And then I'm gonna do each of these sides, freshly ground black pepper. Lovely. So I have a little bit of cumin. Cumin is very strong, so you don't wanna use too much, but just a little bit goes a long way. And some ground cinnamon, same thing. Nice strong flavors here, but they are gonna meld together perfectly when we introduce the tomatoes and then that Baja-esque sauce. Give it a little pat. Good boy. Flip it over. Same thing on the other side. Salt, pepper, cumin, cinnamon. Next thing I wanna set up and prep are the vegetables and the base that's gonna go into the braise. So I have a couple of onions here. So I'm just gonna go down the middle, get rid of my little roots here. And then I'm just gonna cut them, just give them a quarter. But because I didn't fully cut the root off, they're still intact. Pop them in there. And done. Okay, next, the carrot. You can just leave the skin on for extra fiber. Otherwise, the skin can get a little bit bitter. Okay, so I have a couple of carrots. And then for my celery, I'm gonna keep the leaves on. Actually, even though it's gonna be cooking for a long time, the leaves have a ton of flavor. So I'm just gonna get this a little quartering. So we're gonna start with some fresh garlic. Give them a good little pounding to break them up. Okay, now, next thing, really important, kosher salt goes on top of that. You wanna do your salt right after the garlic because the coarseness of the salt will help to break down the garlic even more. So we'll get these guys going. And as you're working your mortar and pestle, you can totally use kind of this like twisting and pushing motion to help break down the ingredients. From here, I'm gonna add in some freshly ground black pepper, again, because I want as much coarseness in here as possible to help break it down. Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of jump to my Serrano chili. So I'm just gonna split it right down the center with my knife. Just gonna give this guy a quick little chop, break it down a little bit. Again, this is why we start with the harder to manage ingredients first, because then they're gonna get the most time in there. Okay, let me just rinse my hands really quick. Be right back. All right, chili-free fingers. Now again, I wanna do this kind of like twisting and grinding. I don't wanna pound the chilies because I don't wanna take a risk of like any of the seeds coming out and whipping me into the eye. So we'll just kind of get these guys broken down. It's okay if they don't fully break down. Again, they're gonna be cooking in that sauce for hours. All right, then I'm gonna add in the fennel seeds, some oregano. From here, we can add in some of our cumin. Now remember, we already put some on the meat, so we don't wanna go too crazy with the cumin, but it is totally a staple in the Mexican kitchen, so if you go a little bit too much, it's okay. And then cinnamon, just for a little je ne sais quoi, and mix. And you really wanna try and break up the fennel seed as much as possible. Okay, the chipotle. It has this like really rich smokiness to it. It does have some heat, but it's not overbearing. So I like to use both the sauce and the chipotle itself. I'm gonna go for a couple here. And these chilies are really soft, super sweet, super smoky, everything you would want for your brisket. All right, my loves, we have all the prep done. Let's get to the meat. So I'm gonna do a little extra virgin olive oil in a super, super hot cast iron skillet. First guy's gonna go in. Oh, you can smell the cumin and the cinnamon toasting already. Just let it sit. You're gonna wanna like touch it and play with it. I always do, but you just have to let it do its thing for a moment. All right. And then you can see I have this really nice browning. Okay? Give it a flip. Let it sit, don't touch it, walk it away. All right. Again, perfectly browned. Just let that guy sit to the side for a moment. And here we go with number 2. Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna slide this guy to the side, create some room for this one. Put it right back in there. All right, from here, kosher dry red wine. Try to stay away from sweet. It's not gonna kill your recipe, but dry red wine is gonna really kind of help all those flavors to shine. Stand back. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my crushed tomatoes and add them in. Okay, so now I have my liquids in. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of my veggies, just placing them in haphazardly. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Celery, same thing. Tuck them in. And then carrots. Okay. Now you might notice I kind of like left the veggies off of the top of the meat, and that's because I'm going to spread that beautiful Baja paste that we created all over it. Take my paste and go to town. So I want to really use this and just slather it all on top. And then another big scoop from my other one. And as this cooks, all of these flavors are just gonna melt and marry and turn into this really kind of red, vibrant, sweet, smoky, fatty deliciousness. It's amazing. So a little bit more red wine. I'm gonna cover it up. I'm gonna shove it in the oven. And my job is done for about 3.5 hours. All right, let's see where we're at. It smells absolutely divine. Now that is a brisket. All right, let's see where we're at with this temp. Perfect, exactly at 205. So I'm gonna let the brisket rest for about 30-ish minutes or so, but it's just gonna sit here and let its juices kind of recoil back in. You can see how, even though like when I first put all the ingredients in, nothing was kind of mixed together, and now it's just this really beautiful, rich, kind of lush sauce that's completely melted together. But we're gonna make it even more amazing by pureeing everything in here using the immersion blender. You wanna make sure that you pulse it slowly and carefully. So I'm actually gonna like take an onion, push it down, and then give it a little zhuzh. And I wanna do that with each ingredient so that way it gets chopped and it doesn't splash. All right, it is time to slice into the brisket. I have some rice because it is a little bit of a spicy dish, so you want something to kind of balance that out, but also to soak up all the flavors. But first and foremost, how does one cut a brisket? Aha, against the grain, always. That way you kind of cut down on like the chewiness and it just starts to melt in your mouth. I like doing nice, thin-ish slices. And because we let it rest, the juices aren't just rushing out of it. All right, well, while I wish that y'all were here with me, I'm so ready to taste this. So I'm just gonna plate up a couple slices of my brisket. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Make sure that you get plenty of that sauce. You'll be able to see how brilliant this color is. And I'm gonna go right over the meat and right over the rice. There's plenty of it. You're probably gonna have more than you need. I highly recommend freezing it. All right, so we have some spring onions, cilantro, and I love a little bit of lime. Again, it just kind of helps and cuts right into that fat. Don't mind me. Oh, it just cuts so perfectly. Get a little bit of everything in there. Absolutely to die for. The smokiness from the chipotles, the earthiness and vibrance from the cumin and the cilantro, and just the richness from the fat of the brisket. Everything is just completely melt in your mouth and totally transports you down to Baja.
Coming up next on the Prairie Street Prime Culinary Kitchen channel, you'll learn how to make a delicious kosher veal shank osso buco.
We want to get flour on both sides. This piece right here is calling my name. This is delicious, guys. Oh my gosh.
For this dish, you can find the entire recipe below. And for all of our recipes, you can check out prairiestreetprime.com. Thank you so much for joining me here today in the Prairie Street Prime Culinary Kitchen. We'll see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern.